Hey everybody, Horp here. Good to see you. Hope everyone's having a good one. So, as everybody knows, I have the world record speed run in the any percentage category for Resident Evil 2 on the Tiger Gamecom. It's whatever. I'm being humble about it. But I realized that the previous run I had on YouTube is outdated now. And this run I've had, it's been approved for a couple months now, and it's just been kind of sitting in obscurity. I thought it'd be a good idea to just do like a post-run commentary video, put it up on YouTube, just like a video where I go into detail on the run itself, on some of the strats that I use, in case anybody wants to try it themselves. Briefly talk about the Tiger Gamecom itself and this insane port that Tiger Electronics made of one of the best games of all time. So, without further ado, I'm going to start the run. So, people might be like, Horp, what is the Tiger Gamecom? What is it? Well, Tiger Electronics was a company in the 90s that made very cheap LCD screen bargain bin handheld games that you could buy for like nothing. And they were just super simplistic, kind of basically joke games. Well, they wanted to get into the handheld market for real and attempt to take on Nintendo's Game Boy. So they came up with this Tiger Gamecom, which admittedly, that's a fucking dope intro screen. And I love this one too. Oh, that's so cool. But yeah, basically the system flopped. It was terrible. Couldn't handle really anything, and it was super. Its ambitions were too much. It cannot do what they promised to do. So this is a real port. Came out the same year as Resident Evil 2 on the PlayStation, and as you could already tell, I'm just gonna be quiet for a second. Just take it all in. Yeah, so as you could tell, the game is horrible. It is what it is. But yeah, it's kind of impressive that I'm going to start out by being very nice to the game. I'm going to say a few nice things about the game before I just go in on it. But they put the whole map of the original Resident Evil 2 in like a Game Boy cartridge. That's pretty impressive, I think. It's just unfortunate that there's nothing really else there. Like the audio, it's just footsteps, the occasional gunshot, and like a really compressed zombie groan. And that's it. No music. No music. You know, Resident Evil as a series is very well known for its fantastic OSTs, but none of that here. None of that at all. Really, that's all the nice things I could say about the game comp and this game in general is that the menus and intro screens, transition screens are very cool, and that I think it's impressive that they put the entire map of Resident Evil 2 in a Game Boy cartridge. Now let's move on to the rest. Yeah, it's just really bad. As you can see here, you could just clip through zombies if they're walking towards you vertically. You could glitch through so many things. It's a very broken game. As you can see through the run, I picked up the shotgun and immediately equipped it. We're only going to use the shotgun. You don't use any other gun in the speed run. The shotgun could generally take out zombies in a shot, sometimes 2 shots towards the end, maybe. But yeah, it's shotgun all the way. And I think the only weapons you get in this game are the shotgun, the pistol, and the knife. So we're making our way to the police station. Almost there. Also, only Leon, no Claire scenario in this game. I, that's hard to blame. You know, they can only fit so much on a cartridge. So yeah, we're in the police station. As you can, we go up to the statue, and right away you don't have to do any puzzle with the unicorn medal or anything. You just pick up the key. There's a lot of cut corners there in the puzzles. Pretty lazy, if you ask me. Yeah, so we stash the pistol and the knife because we're not using it anymore. We hold on to the key, and then we just make our way through. So I found out, I was reading some article about like forgotten Game Boy competitors. Oh wait, hold on. Hold that thought. First interaction with the liquor. They tried, but it's a joke. All you had to do is just walk up. It could only move horizontally. It can't move vertically. Oh, God. But yeah, so I was reading this article about forgotten Game Boy competitors and read about the Tiger Game Com. I was like, oh, wow, this is terrible. This looks awful. But then I read that there was a port for Resident Evil 2 on it. And I was like, excuse me? Resident Evil 2? My favorite game of all time? Has a port? And I YouTubed it and was like, wow, this looks awful. This looks terrible. And then I paused and I thought, well, what's the speedrun world record on it? And there were a few runs on YouTube. And I thought, well, you know, it's doable. Let's put some work in. Let's do it. Oh, yeah. So picked it up and got the emulator and worked on it for a while. It took a couple months. But we ended up getting the world record. I'm very proud of that. As you can see, they do the whole puzzle with the lighter and the painting, but they don't tell you, there's no hints or anything for that. You have to really, the only way you could really complete that puzzle on your own is if you've played the original game, which is a really shitty thing for a port to do. Also, pay no attention to the splits below me. They are... I really don't know what was going on with those splits. Doesn't matter. The only thing you need to pay attention to is the timer, the bottom right. Maybe I'll re-upload this video one day with the correct splits. Okay, so what we're seeing right here is a huge troll. You open the door and you get immediately bit by a zombie there. And if anyone wants to run this game, just be aware that if you get bit, you have to mash the action button to get out of the bite. But you can't hit any other buttons. It's only the action button. The game, I guess, can't handle two inputs at the same time there. So if you have like the D-pad held in while you're mashing, it's not going to register. If you have any other button held in, it's not going to register, and you just get bit a bunch till you die. So that's the second red jewel puzzle. It's just a downgraded version of the original puzzle. I mean, get used to that. That's everything in this game. A lot of the skill of the run is kind of just memorizing the zombies' positions throughout the game and how you can maneuver in between them without getting bit. Sometimes it's advantageous to get bit instead of taking the long way around, but most of the time there's a route available to you where you could get through zombies. Not in this room specifically. Like, it's best to just kill that zombie, walk by him, and you're good. And then we're going into the library. So speaking of just downgraded puzzles, here you just push the bookcases under the arrows. Also, if you're running this game, be sure to have an empty inventory slot in your inventory. Because if you complete that puzzle and you can't get the key, you have to do the puzzle all over again. And I'll fucking kill your run, and no one wants that. So yeah, you just push two bookcases, get a key. It's they tried. They tried. I am intrigued by this era of games, these handheld games, and some companies attempted to make horror games on these systems, like Tiger Gamecom Resident Evil 2, or Alone in the Dark, the new Nightmare for the Game Boy Color, or I don't know, Resident Evil Gaiden for the Game Boy Color. And some of those games do better at translating the survival horror experience to handheld than others. It's really, I just don't think the tech was there yet. It's a whole lot of valiant attempts, but there wasn't really a good handheld horror game for a while. I guess you could say Tiger Gamecom Resident Evil's the first attempt at it. But as you could tell, they didn't really nail it. Also, the helicopter's not on fire in this run. It's immediately out. There are alternate paths you could take throughout the police station. For instance, you could get the crank, and you could get the cog for the clock, and open the shaft down into the garage that way. But I found it's a bit faster to just do this route, get the red jewels, get the key, then we go downstairs and get the heart key. Seems for now to be the most optimal route. So now we got the key, we just got to make our way back to the ladder on the second floor and go down to the room that has Marvin in it, where we get his key. Don't get your hopes up, though. Marvin's not actually in this game. It's just a random-looking zombie. But I like to call him Marvin. Add a little personality to the game. Yeah. So I feel like the liquor, the dogs, and the spiders you face in this game, they move at like a different frame rate than everything else. It's kind of off-putting. I don't know. But once we get this key, we can make our way down into the parking structure, down into the sewers. This part of the game's probably my favorite part, the police station, Raccoon City and the police station. Once you get down into the sewers, the game, I mean, if you think this is a slog, wait till you see the sewers, man. It is plodding. It never ends. This one, I at least, I get nostalgic about one of my favorite levels in a video game. The Raccoon City Police Department station. I picked up that green herb there. We don't really need it, but I was doing pretty well on my run. I felt it best to just pick up some healing. It's tough with the inventory because you have to hold like 4 keys throughout most of the police station. So you really only have shotgun, some shotgun shells, and 1 healing item. Off and on. And then it's just keys. So we kind of got lucky there. We got bit, which we don't like, but we were able to get through that hallway without getting cornered by a bunch of zombies. You kind of have to be quick with this, with the avoiding zombies, because if you dawdle or flinch or stall, you're going to find yourself just getting cornered by a bunch of really annoying zombies, and you'll get caught in an infinite stun lock and die, and it's very frustrating. So I just avoid this guy. He's not paying attention. I don't think I do pick these shotgun shells up, but there's some coming up that I don't pick up just to save some time. Generally, you want to pick up every box of shotgun shells you see throughout the run, just to be safe. But you could probably skip one or two and be alright as long as you just make all your shots and you don't waste ammo. There's nothing... Man, it's the worst when you got a good run going and you're at the final boss and then you run out of shotgun shells and then you're fucked. Okay, so this is one of the toughest rooms in the game. I find this is the most optimal strategy. You just kind of go right in between all of them, wait for them to notice you, and back up. And in the chaos, kind of just hug that wall and go up. It's real easy for one of them to cut you off there. Okay, I love this. So in the original game, you have to have Ada with you to push this giant fucking truck out of the way. But no, Leon just does it on his own. He's superhuman. So there's no fucking Ben in this game in the jail cells. I don't even think there's anything in the jail cells. So we just keep going. There's no blue herbs. You don't get poisoned in this game. Now, I should have killed this guy here, but he's a tough cookie. Also, when you knock an enemy down, you can't, like, walk over their body. So you kind of have to awkwardly go around their corpse, waiting for them to... You either wait for them to stand up and shoot them again, kill them, or you just awkwardly walk around them. I chose the latter there. First spider. That always makes me sweat, but yeah, if you go up and immediately turn left and go, you can generally escape that zombie's clutches. So this is where the first boss fight is, but we can't get through that door yet. We gotta get one more key. So we just keep moving. This is basically where, this is Ada's part of the game. In the original, but just Leon here. Yeah, same as the lickers, you just go up. And just go around them. They can't go vertically. And we got another really dumbed down puzzle here. So in the original game, you just push 3 boxes in like a bridge, in a line to form a bridge, and then you flood the room. But here, you just push 1 box out of the way of a ladder. It's not even really a puzzle, it's just an obstacle. Climb this ladder, and there's a key there that we pick up, and that'll get us to the first boss fight of the game. I pick up those shotgun shells just to be safe. And so as you can see, I had to kind of reposition myself in order to get up the stairs. This seems as good a time as any to talk about door hitboxes, for lack of a better term. So in this game, you have to be kind of like in a very specific spot to interact with the door and open it. It's fucking ridiculous. Like, you'll be standing right in front of the door, hitting the action button, and it won't open. And then after you do quite a few runs, you start to get the hang of a specific door's hitbox. And sometimes that hitbox makes no sense, and I'll point out a few instances along the run. But yeah, this game just is so trash, even opening a door is a fucking hassle. So this zombie's not paying attention. We go up to that door. We open it. And now we have the first boss fight, which I can't really decide if it's William Birkin or if it's one of the beasts that spawn from William Birkin's implants. I think it's the latter. I think it's one of the beasts, but because he throws the little creatures at you. It's gross. But really, the most optimal strategy there is to just run up. He's going to launch one of those creatures at you. You knock it off. As he approaches, you go down, you go around, and you just avoid him. You don't even have to fight him. Just run away from him. And now we're in the sewers, and God, I hate the sewers. Really, just every hallway in the sewers looks the same, and this is like when branching paths start happening. That's a hitbox situation there. It's very confusing, but you get the hang of the correct path eventually. So we stash all the keys. There's like 3 first aid sprays in the item box to start the game, but I avoid using them through the police station and then replace them with the keys here. So this next room, I got really lucky in. So I dodged those 2 guys. As you can see, there's a cluster of pixels at the end of the hallway, and that's a door. And you have to get past that zombie to do it. And we lucked out in that when that zombie grabbed us, he kind of pulled us halfway through the room out of the way of the door. And the 2 zombies I avoided in the room previous did not follow us. So, very lucky. That usually doesn't go as well as it did there. Here's a hitbox situation where you see the ladder there, but the only way to access it is by interacting with the top right corner of the room, even though it's like not even close to the ladder. That's the most egregious example I could think of. So we're coming up on the second boss of the game, the crocodile. It's always kind of a weird boss. You don't really fight it. It's more of a puzzle. And then in the remake, it's like it's a weird chase sequence. Oh yeah, zombies get kind of a hitbox too when they turn and walk towards you. It's kind of frustrating. Or they have like iframes. There we go. They have like iframes when they move towards you sometimes, and it's really, really frustrating. Okay, so we get the canister. There's the crocodile. And you go over here to the other screen. He bites the canister, you shoot. And then the explosion just turns him into like a Muppet. Like he looks like when Kermit the Frog gets punched by Miss Piggy and his face caves in. It's kind of what he looks like there. We got really lucky there as well, because that's one of the big instances of RNG in the run. Because you can go over in that screen and you see the crocodile. Then you go back to where the canister is. And you'll wait. But sometimes the crocodile just doesn't show up. Like, he just takes his sweet time. And by sweet time, like, it could be like 30 seconds sometimes until it walks over. Oh, here's another one. You think that's a dead end, right? It looks like a dead end? Nope. It's a whole new hallway. So yeah, I've had a lot of runs killed by just waiting for that crocodile. It's very frustrating. But in that situation, we really lucked out. He immediately came over to the next screen. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about with the sewers as well. Like, there are some things that just look like dead ends that are actually completely new pathways that you have to take to get out. Insane. That's why I'm posting this run. So people could study it and avoid some of the ridiculous situations that arise in this game. Oh shit, yeah, that guy follows me. Usually never follows you. There are some zombies in this game that are so tenacious and they'll follow you across 3 rooms, and there are others that, like that guy, just turns the other way the second you step away from them. It's kind of a roll of the dice. Ah, I hesitated there, got bit. You get kind of thrown in situations where you open a door and there's a zombie there right away. Usually I'm more quick on the draw, but yeah, it results in situations where if you flinch, you'll get bit. That's what happened there. And my god, I think we are actually finally out of the sewers. Yep. So then there's a key inside this tram. It's the same as the original. We get the key, we use it on the console, and we take it over to the Umbrella Lab. There's no boss fight there. As in, there's no boss fight on the tram on the way over to the Umbrella Lab, like the original. They just cut that out. So this is when I start to get a little sweaty. Like, I'm noticing that the splits are looking good, that my time's looking good. And the Umbrella Lab could be really stressful because the game just kind of abandons all logic that it's established up until now. Just gets to be like, nope, we're making up our own rules. You don't get to win the game. We're throwing whatever at you. And I'll point a few examples along the way. Zombies generally start taking 2 shots to kill with a shotgun, sometimes 3. They'll just kind of take zombies that you pass along the way and teleport them in front of you, which is really, really annoying because you can't account for that. It's just, you just got to get really good at dodging zombies on the fly, kind of improv your way out of situations. And I'll point out a few examples. So we get a little lucky. We get bit here, but this is another situation where it could just turn to a clusterfuck. Like, that zombie will follow you. Oh yeah, when Leon goes into caution mode, he walks so slow that if you don't have healing items, you gotta restart the run, because he walks like Charlie Brown when he's really sad. Like, his head's down, just moping. He moves at a snail's pace. And you have to heal right away, otherwise you can't outrun zombies. You can't do anything. Okay. Oh yeah, the final liquor interaction. Same as it ever was. So you want to line yourself with that kind of right pillar there. Right corner. Walk forward, avoid these dorks. Just go into the hallway. Shoot that zombie as soon as you can. And that's what I'm talking about. They just took a zombie from the previous room and teleported it so that it approached me there. Because I played this game a lot, and I know where the zombies are placed. And there's no zombie in the room after that. So they just took the zombie that I passed, teleported it in front of me. Super annoying. I usually leave that guy alone. If you do a good job of placing yourself correctly on the overworld map, you could avoid them. Or just the map. Alright, so we immediately turn, go down. There's a key here that gets us to the emergency escape tram. Now, this hallway is probably the toughest part of the game. Again, they spawned another zombie out of nowhere to try to kill me. These 2 guys, I still haven't figured them out. I've killed them like on many, many runs, and then I'll go get the key and start heading back, and they're alive again. So I don't even bother killing them. I just try to shoot one of them so I could get past them. Now we got the red card key. And we could get out of this place. Yeah, I got screwed there. Immediately got. Here, this one's on me. I panicked. I didn't know what to do. So I tried outrunning the guy. I couldn't. We got bit. But that's alright, because I'm already very ahead. Oh, here's a door hitbox there. You saw how I had to like take one step back in order to open that door? Yeah, you can't, like if you are directly up against the door hitting the action button, it's not working. You have to take a step back and put distance between yourself and the door to open it. Also, that was another situation where they spawned a zombie in front of me, but I'm too quick for that shit. I got out of the way. Yeah, I want to make sure I'm hugging that wall as much as I can. Otherwise, that guy will bite me. I've already been bit enough. I don't need it. So we just go back to where we were. I kill this guy just so I could get past him. And then I approach the door, use the key. Final couple rooms. Sometimes you can get lucky and walk in between these two guys. I was not so lucky, and I got. I just ignore that other guy. And we come up on the final boss of the game, and it's William. Again. So what you want to do is you want to place yourself in the center here. These railings on the right and left side of the screen are a good indicator of where you need to be. So you set yourself in the center, align yourself with William, and he's going to like kind of walk past you, and as he walks past you, you turn. That gives you like a brief iframe. And then you shoot him. And if his back is facing you, you could generally get 2 shots in. See, I screw up there because his front was facing me. And I only got 1 shot in, but I put 2 shots in, but that left me open for an attack. And when he attacks you, he pushes you back, which kills time. But his back's facing me here. I get 2 shots in. Then you turn. Rinse and repeat. But if his front's facing you, it's best to just try 1 shot. Now, here I'm sweating because I'm on world record pace and it feels like I'm blowing this boss fight. But we only have a few more shots to go. Just try to power through it. And there it is. That's the final fight. That's the end of the game. The run ends when it fades to black right here. And there's the in-game time, but the runs are determined by real time. But it's nice to have the in-game time. And that's the end. No credits, nothing. That's Resident Evil 2 for the Tiger Gamecom, folks. The first speedrun I've ever done. Honestly, it's a blast. I have a soft spot for the game, but it's a terrible game, all in all. But yeah, that's the run, baby. So I have a few more speedruns that I've done, a few more records. So I want to make this a frequent thing. I'll be posting my runs with some post-run commentary and such. The next one I think we're going to be doing is Alone in the Dark, The New Nightmare for the Game Boy Color. Keep an eye out for that one. Thanks a lot, folks. I hope you have a great time. Take care.